Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel and welcome to my trailer. I thought this would be a great spot to shoot this video, as today I'm going to take a look at the Auto-Vox Solar 5 camera system. Now, the purpose of this video is to look at this camera system and what will it be like, is it great for an RV, etc. And later so what we'll do is I'm going to do a few minutes unboxing, show you the product itself, explain how it basically runs, show you a couple of options. Then I'm going to show you the camera in action so you can see what the quality's like. And then at a later date, I'll bring you another video of, I'm thinking, a follow-up video after I've had the ability to use it a little bit longer and go from there. Now, Auto-Vox reached out and said they wanted to send me the camera system to try out and use. So thank you to them. This is not a sponsored video. They just offered it and I thought, okay, I liked one of their previous camera systems. Let's take a look because this is much improved. So let's start off with what it is. This is the Auto-Vox Solar 5, because there is a Solar 3, which we've done a review on. This is the 5 system, and I've already taken it. You get it in this style box that's delivered to your house. You can purchase this off of Amazon or directly from Auto-Vox. So I'll put a link below for anyone who happens to be interested. When you take it out, the main system you get in this carry bag. And the reason I say main system is there's a couple of options available. You have a 1 camera option with a 5-inch screen and 1 camera. This is the 7-inch option, or I believe it's 7.2-inch option, and it can be paired with a dual camera. So your main system comes in this carry bag, and then you'll be shipped separately the second camera. So let's open it up, and I haven't taken it apart yet, looked at it. I just figured I'd take it out and out of the main box, and that way we can go through it together. When you open it up, it looks well packaged. The carry case is fairly sturdy. I like that if you're not using it as a permanently mounted camera. And that's the advantage of this system, which I'll show you in a few minutes. There's a nice foam insert that sits over the camera itself. So let's take a look here. In the upper part, what you end up getting is the 7.2-inch screen. And when you go with this larger screen, it allows you to have 2 cameras and have a split screen view, is my understanding. But we're going to show you that in live use. Now inside here, you then do get the camera itself, which is actually like this. What I do like about Auto-Vox's systems, and I'm going to bring it up close so you can see, inside they do have a battery, and I believe this one is a 5,000 milliamp battery. So you plug it in via USB-C on right down here, charge up the battery, and then while it's in use on your trailer, your truck, it charges the battery via solar, which is a nice feature. So it saves you from, driving down the road, you've been using it for a while and all of a sudden your battery goes dead. It helps put a bit of charge into that battery. Now, my understanding is eventually that battery will deplete itself because the solar charge is just kind of trickling charge in it. So you may have to charge it again. But we'll look to maybe do a follow-up video with that. There is a magnetic plate right on the back, or I should say a magnetic base, so that this will stick to any steel base itself. But in case you don't have that in or on your vehicle, and what's nice with this system is you can use this on a pickup truck, a car if you need a backup system. Use it on your RV trailer. You can use it on your motor home. You can also use it on a truck like a tractor trailer. It's very flexible is what Auto-Vox says. And what they do is they also send you a couple of plates. So you can mount, this is just a flat plate that you could mount right up onto the side of your trailer, not glass of course, but into the wall. And then they also have, as you can see here, an angled mount in case you need a bit of an angle down greater than what the camera allows. Because I'll break the camera out again. The camera does have, and I think I'm going to get up a little closer for you guys. You'll notice that camera base moves. So it does have the ability to adjust it downwards. But if you needed a little more adjustment, you could mount this up on your trailer wall, and you can see how strong that magnet quickly goes to it. You can mount it on your trailer wall and it'll drop down, and then if need be, you can angle it down some more. So this would be handy, this bracket, if you're using it as a backup camera. Versus you might use the other mount as an observation camera, maybe over your door overlooking your campsite. So let's keep going through here. Now you're going to get your car base. So they have a 3M style sticker here, so you can stick that down, and then this just goes on to the back of your screen so that you can put that in your truck, your car, or your RV itself. And that should just mount. We don't want to catch our wires in there. Just like that. So nice and easy. Now you also get your 12-volt power plug and a nice long cord so that you can run it through your truck or in your RV. And what I do like that they've done as well is they have a USB here as well. So if you need that 12-volt plug, you're typically charging your phone, etc., you have this USB that you can still utilize to charge your electronics. Then inside, you get a nice long USB-C charging cord to charge it up from time to time when you need to, your antennas, and then of course you have some mounting screws for that wall plate, and these look like self-tapping screws, which is nice. And then you have a small Allen key with a couple of small screws, and what these are for is that if you mount this on the back of your trailer or on the side of your trailer, or you've attached it to your truck, there's a little screw at the top here, or screw hole at the top, that you put that screw through and it secures the camera to the base. So not only do you have the magnet holding on to it, but you get a little extra security with that screw. So that's the main kit. Then if you order the kit with 2 cameras, they'll send you this second box marked backup kit. You'll get the manual in there, and sorry, I did miss pulling out, there is a manual in here. Another USB-C. You're going to get some additional self-mounting screws, again our Allen key and 2 screws, and then a second camera. And it looks, identical to the first. It's angled. This one has the angled mounting plate on it. And inside here, we have our flat mounting plate and our antenna. Now, these cameras are a 1080p camera, so the picture should be pretty good. I don't really think you need more than 1080p in this kind of environment. I'm going to hook this up shortly right in here so that you can get a look at what the quality is like. But I thought I would just talk about some possible uses of this. In in our application, I'm going to use it on the travel trailer. But I want to experiment because of the magnetic base on it. I actually want to experiment by being able to put it on the back cab of my truck, aim the camera down at my hitch, so when I'm hooking up my fifth wheel, because I have a tonneau cover and it's a double cab, so it's really hard to see that hitch. Now, luckily, I have a mirror on this fifth wheel, so I can see it, but I want to see if I can use the camera to actually make hitching even easier than it is already. Now, I'm planning that what I'm going to do is use one of these on the back, and I'm going to find a mounting location on the driver's side of my fifth wheel. And the reason for that is my driver's side fifth wheel doesn't have any windows because I have a large slide out. I have a slide out in the bedroom. Then I have the washroom with the shower on that wall. So I actually don't have any windows on that side. And sometimes when I've been camping and you hear noises around and you're in a campground that, you know, it's not a busy time, sometimes it's nice to be able to peer out. On the passenger side, I have lots of windows, one up the bedroom. So if I hear somebody in my campsite, I can look out a window. I can turn on my large light on the awning. If I'm watching TV down here, I can peer out the window, but I've got a blind side. And I thought that's where these cameras could come in handy. They also could be handy if you have kids. You want to mount one over as an observation camera at the door to see who's coming up to your door, or the kids are out playing in your campsite, but you're prepping food in the kitchen for lunch or dinner, breakfast, whatever it is. You could use this system to basically keep an eye on them while you're prepping food inside. So it's just a nice, flexible system. Also can be used on classic cars. You could use it on your truck. If you have a flatbed cargo trailer and you want to keep an eye on it or keep an eye what's behind you going down the road, utility trailers, it's really pretty much endless. Now, 1080p system, as I mentioned, price-wise, if you go with the 5-inch option, I believe you're about $120 US. And in Canada, I believe that's actually closer to like 150-ish. For this system, the Solar 5 with the 7.2, the 2 cameras, you're $250 Canadian. You're about $220 US for our American friends. A single camera with the 7-inch, because that's also an option. You could buy a single camera system. If you don't think you need a secondary camera, somewhere down the road, change your mind, go out and buy a second camera. The single camera system in Canada is $200, but currently on Amazon, there's a $20 coupon, immediate coupon at the time of filming. And in the US, you're about $150 for the single camera, and as I mentioned, $220 for the dual camera in the US versus our $250 in Canada. So it's a very reasonable expense, especially for the multi-use that you can move it around when you're not using your RV trailer. But at this point, let's hook it up and show you what it's like. Okay, so what I've done here is hooked up the screen. Luckily, you are going to need a 12-volt plug-in, or if you don't have a 12-volt plug-in, you can buy an adapter that converts 110 to 12-volt. You could also have a 12-volt installed. I happen to have a 12-volt here in the entertainment area, so let's take a look at the system live. Basically, as soon as you plug in your screen, it's going to come alive and turn itself on. And then what it's doing is it's going to wait for a signal from the camera. So what I'm going to do, there's a power button right here on the bottom of it. We're going to turn it on. That powers up the camera itself. And then the screen itself, you can just hit on the back. There's an arrow up, arrow down, and a menu. If it doesn't turn itself on immediately, you can actually just hit one of those buttons and you notice it turns itself on. Now I've actually set up the two cameras. This is the main camera that I would use as our backup camera, and then I have another camera over here to my right, which is going to show you a different view of the trailer. So, but I thought, let's take a look at this a little bit closer. I'll move the camera out of the way just so we can bring this up. So it's a 1080p system. You put the two antennas on top of your screen, the antenna on your camera itself, and they're supposed to have a nice long range. So in a future video, I will bring you some follow-up on that. Now this is just showing my back, so let's move that camera around and show you, let it just point at the rest of the unit itself. So you can see here, nice clear picture, and nice and wide if you're using the one camera system. You'll also see the little backup lines, and you can turn that off if you're using it as an observation camera. Now, if we hit the down arrow button, what it does is it switches its views, and there it went searching for our second camera. As I mentioned, I've put it over here to the right of me and behind me. It's actually just sitting on my sofa, pointing out so you can get a view of the entire trailer itself. Now, if you push the down arrow one more time, what it actually does is go into split screen mode. So now we can view both cameras at the same time. Camera 1, camera 2. So now if you were camping, right, if you're in a Walmart parking lot, you have your 12 volt onto your batteries, you're in a truck stop, wherever it is, you could be using these as observation cameras outside. And what's nice is if you have several magnetic places, steel places you could put the camera to, you could actually move them around or use the installed plates and move them around. What's nice, remember, you get two plates, one with the angle and a flat plate. So you could actually pick 4 different spots on your RV, your truck, whatever it is, so that if I want to use it observation in a campground, in a truck stop, a Walmart parking lot, I'm going to grab the camera and stick it on in a certain location. Now put it high enough so that nobody can just pull it off. So you might need a small ladder, etc., to just get up there and stick it on if you're moving it around. If you're using it as a backup camera, you're going to want to put the little screw in to make sure any rough roads don't take a chance of knocking your camera off. But as you can see, and I mean, it's not doing it justice on the camera with the reflections, etc., but it's actually a really good picture. It's nice, crisp, clear, whether it's the split screen mode, whether we're looking at, you know, just the single mode. You can see the second camera right there on the sofa is getting caught by the first camera. It's nice and clear, and I think that's going to be pretty handy. I actually have a trip coming up in a couple of weeks, and I think I'm going to give this a try, and that way we'll bring you another video. Because they're battery powered, they're really simple, and because you have that solar panel on top, it'll help keep that battery powered up so you're not constantly pulling it down and charging it. So far, I'm pretty happy with what I'm seeing. I'm pretty impressed. Now, again, I'm not being paid to say this to you. Auto-Vox was kind enough to send the cameras to me to give them a try, to try them while I'm out doing a bit of traveling. And I'll always bring you my personal opinion. If I didn't think they were a great camera, I'm going to tell you they're not. So watch for a follow-up video, and I will bring you some follow-up and see about bringing you some footage of it being used in the campground, and I'll show you some mounting tricks. I have some interesting ideas, but I want to try them before I tell you about them, just to make sure they work properly. Anyways, I hope you've enjoyed that video showing you the Auto-Vox Solar 5. Again, links will be down below to both the Auto-Vox site as well as Amazon in the US and in Canada. If you have questions, drop them down in the comments. Please like and subscribe. I'd greatly appreciate it, as I'm trying to grow the channel, and it'll give us opportunity that hopefully some more suppliers that want to have exposure in the RV industry will send us some product to try out for you guys. Anyways, leave me your comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll also maybe post a condensed version of this on the website. Thanks. Take care.